The application of the Plantiga insole and how it can apply to life starts with the obvious, is that injuries and things that affect all of us, orthopedic injuries, that means injuries to your bones and your muscles and your joints. These are things that are very common in our society and affect everybody, from your grandmother and grandfather to the elite athlete to the weekend warrior. And when people get hurt and when people are not thriving at their optimum, they go to experts to seek advice and to seek help to restore function and get them back to performance. And what we know is that that process is not simply a one-day thing or a one-visit thing. Very often this is a process of taking somebody back from a suboptimal state and helping them bridge the gap towards thriving. And in that vein, what the Plantiga insoles provide is a fundamental way to bridge that interaction between being suboptimal and having a way to get a lens on your things you need to work on that informs your support team, your physiotherapist, your strength coach, that bridges that gap so that we can optimize the training, the exercise, the rehabilitation for the individual. Moving beyond sort of general recommendations to really figuring out and changing what matters for the individual. And it's really hard to change things that you don't measure. If you want to change things, you've got to measure what matters. That's a fundamental aspect of our world today in the 21st century that everybody is seeking and striving to achieve. And so now we've got these opportunities to start to see these use cases develop. These use cases where athletes have an injury, and previously we would have been completely blind to how they're adapting after that injury. And we can now use an insole and use data science to help pinpoint deficits, pinpoint training programs, identify when maybe we need to pull that athlete back a little bit, or that individual, or maybe when we need to push them a little bit harder. These use case scenarios are becoming increasingly available. We're seeing it also with being able to monitor an individual's fatigue. Monitoring fatigue and trying to identify when somebody has done a little bit too much or not enough is a key part of not only the training process, but also rehabilitation. And it's a key part of just performing and thriving as a human, making sure that you, on a given basis, on a given day when you're going to go and exercise or train, that you're able to make those micro adjustments to your program, to what you're going to do, so that you can optimize things for you. And that's another piece of the Plantiga system. It's not just about capturing asymmetries and things that relate to injury, but we can actually capture performance variables. And these performance variables, like the reactive strength index, that's a marker of neuromuscular fatigue, would allow a strength coach or a personal trainer or even an individual to further refine and optimize training to get the results that they need and they want.